The Kill That Noise, or KTN beat battle, hosted by Inland Empire-based production company Brick to Your Face, used to bring out the best producers that the Inland Empire had to offer. It certainly brought out the best in me as a producer when I competed. For those producers out there who have never competed in a beat battle, there is no better test of your belief in your music and decision-making skills under pressure than when you compete in one. Before I went head-to-head with Captain, I did my research on him. Other producers in the city were telling me he was the guy to worry about the most if I chose to jump into the KTN beat battle. But even if I hadn't done any research, I would have realized this the moment he played his first beat against me. Captain's beat started off with a very misleading and simplistic 8-bit melody line. After the melody line repeated 2 times, the most disrespectful, in-your-face drums came raging in.
Turn it up, turn it up.
His snares came through so crisp on his beats that I used to joke with him that I could smell the wood breaking off the drummer's stick through the speakers. His hi-hats were unpredictable in that they would be completely on beat 1 minute and completely offbeat in other sections. I was amazed by it all. But the thing that stood out to me the most was his swing. My lessons with Tay Beats had taught me about swing slowly but steadily, but Captain's beats that night had an immediate impact. They gave an extremely clear feel of what swing was and how it had the ability to affect the emotion a beat conveyed to its listener. Captain's history as a krump dancer also made him a natural entertainer in his beat battles. He was the first producer I'd ever seen physically express the movement of certain instruments in his beat. He knew his beats so well that he never missed a mute, drop, breakdown, or cue with his movements. While most producers would just stand around and nod their head during their battles, Captain would physically act out his hi-hat rolls with his fingers or stomp his feet in time with his kick drums. His showmanship made crowds go wild.
My name is Curtis King of Curtis King Productions, new resident of IE, used to be in Carson, California. Basically cover the gamut when it comes to beats. Y'all see?
Even before it was over, I was all but sure I'd lost my battle to Captain that night. All I had were my on-the-grid soul sample beats. They weren't really what you'd consider beat battle beats, though they were heavy. The first one I played against Captain received a lukewarm response, probably because he'd already stolen the show with his dancing. It didn't help that I just sat there with my arms nervously crossed as my first beat played. When he played his second beat, I thought my fate was sealed even further. He stepped up his performance yet another notch by throwing his hat into the crowd and dancing with the excited onlookers. In a last-ditch, what the hell do I have to lose effort, I played the best beat I had left. It had a sample from David Ruffin's classic song, Love Is Gone. Now that got an immediate and loud reaction from the audience and the beat battle judges. And Captain's dancing had inspired me to get out of my nervous shell and start acting out my beat as well. The more I did so, the louder the audience got. The judges even started getting out of their seats. When all was said and done, I had somehow pulled off an upset victory over Captain. After that battle, Captain and I went from strangers to friends to archenemies to friends to archenemies and eventually to being lifelong brothers. Over the years, we found we had a lot in common, including the fact that we both used a computer program called Fruity Loops. We began working so much together that we had a short stint where we were a production duo called Got 'em Coach. In our collaboration sessions, we specifically taught each other techniques on Fruity Loops. Maurice Bassett presents The Prosperous Hip Hop Producer. My beat-making journey from my grandma's patio to a six-figure business.